welcome back to another episode of Quality Time TV. It's your host, DJ Deem. What's going on, guys? How we doing today?
Good, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We also, Lord, where
Oh,
you at?
your boy, Lord, you already know what it is. We here each and every Monday, 9 o'clock, per usual. A little bit, off the time limit, but that happens, man. It's show business.
Hey, you know how it goes. Hey, thank you everybody for tuning in. Hey, Jesus, I see you building me back. I see you. I see all you guys.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Today, a special host. We got Charles in the building. Charlie Republic. What's going on, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on. How y'all doing?
Pretty
Good,
good.
good. What's good, bro?
Good, man.
Happy New Year, man.
Yeah, happy New Year to y'all too.
Yo,
Absolutely. So let's get
awesome.
things started because, as we know, Instagram likes to cut us off after an hour. So we're gonna address the elephant in the room right now. R. Kelly.
Uh,
Ah, we
yikes.
got this little docu-series on Lifetime that came out, and it's been all over Instagram. It's been all over the media. Everybody's talking about it.
Right.
Uh, what are your thoughts? Did you guys get a chance to check it out yet?
I mean, I checked it out, but it was very interesting to look at it. Look at the documentary because it was very, I
Disturbing.
don't know, disturbing. Yeah,
Disturbing. Yes.
disturbing, and it just, I don't know, just a lot of stuff just don't add up from
Mhm.
from when I'm looking at it. You know.
Yeah.
Ooh, that shit. That's part of what almost got me cursed out this morning. Cause
Yeah, I mean,
it's
it's
weird.
you gotta speak your mind on things. You just can't just be like on
Yeah.
the train of like, oh yeah, I'm with everyone else because they believe that. But my opinion on it, if I had a daughter and I'm doing a documentary series, ain't no way like I'm just showing up with a camera and trying to get my daughter out. Like
Right.
that building has to burn down instantly. Like
Right.
yeah, ain't no way
Alright.
I'm like, all right, it's clear to go. Like we in secretive and like I'm telling the camera like to follow me. Like, nah, like that's why I was like, I can't fully 100% like take them all of them serious, but it's a great documentary to watch and to hear their point of view, but like to like understand the whole mindset of the parents, like you gotta realize like back in that time, like most of them girls was either like singers, models, or whatever, their parents were dragging them to the show. And I'm not trying to put the blame on the parents or anybody like that. I'm just saying like everyone played a part in the whole situation. It's not just R. Kelly picking up these girls. It's like, yeah, I want that one, that one, that one. Most of these parents
Facts.
brought these girls to him for certain things. And I guess since they're not getting paid, they decided to do a documentary. And another point that I looked into his wife. His wife, she still carries the last name Kelly, and she was just bumping to his music just last year.
I saw that too. That shit was crazy. Oh, that was from last year.
Yeah,
Oh, they gassed it because somebody was like, yo, that dropped after the series. I'm like, yo, no way. This can't be this crazy. Like,
it's
it
from
can't be
last
this
year.
much of a
Yeah,
setup. That's dope. Nah, that's, I don't even get it, son.
and they just used
I ain't watch it.
a PR statement saying that she was showing that she is in strength and showing that she's not getting her she's not enabling being a victim. She's a survivor. That's why she listens to his music. I'm like, that statement don't make no type
What?
of sense at all. Because on the doc series, she was acting a fool. So it's like to see her listen to his music, it's like I don't get it. You
And
just
then
did a
she
whole
say like my baby daddy. I'm listening to my baby daddy track or some shit like that.
yeah. I'm
Like
listening to my baby
she
daddy
was
stuff. Yeah,
jamming in the car. Like
hard
what?
jamming
Uh,
hard, jamming hard. That's why, and she's an executive producer. So it's like if I can't take the executive producer seriously, how well can we take these other accounts that's being interviewed seriously? They could have a personal vendetta against them. You know, like I'm not here to judge anybody. You know, I mean, judging's up to God. So I'm not God. So whatever he did, that's what he did. Eventually, everything will eventually come out in the forefront. I mean, it's doc series, but I need like some like hardcore evidence. Not no Bill
mm,
Cosby type thing, but like some hardcore evidence.
That's, that's something good that you brought up. You brought up Bill Cosby, and something recently happened with him. Now he's in jail,
word.
and this has been all over social media. Both times it's on social media, and one of the biggest things that always happens is a lot of people are saying, I'm going to stop listening to the music or I'm going to stop watching the Cosby Show. things of that nature.
It don't happen. It happens for like 3 weeks. And
Yeah,
then it goes right
yo,
back.
that's the same number at 3 weeks. That's
It
how
happens
much.
for 3 weeks.
That's how
And
long
like,
America's
I'm not gonna
attention
listen to
span
this.
is.
I'm not gonna watch that. After that, it goes right back to like, I can watch this show. That's when it's like, you
That's
can't
interesting.
you can't attach the art to the person, because at the end of the day, if we all look at even ourselves as people and what we do behind closed doors in secret and private, and you start attaching ourselves to the stuff that we do, should we be fired for the stuff that we do? You get what I'm saying? So
Yo,
it's like,
that's
you
real.
can't throw a stone at a person if you're not looking at yourself in the mirror. So, and a lot of people that saying mute R. Kelly this, it's all about the victims. They don't know what the hell is going on. They just get behind a wave that it's with carrying a torch. They don't know the whole story. No one knows the whole story. Like, we don't know what relationships with the girls was with him. All we know is from what they told us on the doc series. And who knows? They could hype it up. It's reality TV. Everything's always hyped up when it's about money.
100%. I just want to go into a couple things from social media. Ebro from Ebro in the Morning, old man Ebro had tweeted. Not this one. Oops, sorry guys. So this is Neo actually. So Neo Neo joins the Mute R. Kelly movement, where he decides not to play anything from R. Kelly. Trying to see if I may have deleted the Ebro. Oh no, there's the Ebro right here. So Ebro says, um, and I still like the Cosby Show, still like R. Kelly's music, and I still like Michael Jackson, and Dukes of Hazzard was a good show. He says, "Can you separate art from the person? It's hard, but I can." And when I read that, I kind of had a little thing that I thought in my head. At the end of the day, when it comes down to art, I see it as property. Like when you create it, you have to claim it. The same thing, just
Right.
like land. But is there a line, and especially in the black community, is there a line where we can say, all right, I'm gonna stop listening to this artist? What do you guys think? Do you think that there is a line that can be crossed? And did R. Kelly cross that line?
In R. Kelly case, if you're gonna stop listening to R. Kelly, do you know how much songs he wrote for mad artists? That means a lot of artists gonna be losing out on royalties, publishing, and money. So like they saying all that now is like, oh yeah, mute R. Kelly this, mute R. Kelly that. But when it start affecting their pockets, especially the artists that's not really making money right now, and like they're like struggling, they gonna see the difference once it like gets taken off. But like, he already been in trial and acquitted once before. So like, I feel like what we're looking at now is like kind of like a Michael Jackson situation. He say, she say, put him on trial again. I see R. Kelly probably in the future. Probably I see him going to jail, just because like the community want to see something happen. I see him going to jail for a little bit, but not like a long time, because like I guarantee he probably had them sign NDAs when the parents probably did whatever transaction.
Yeah, I believe that there were NDAs involved. I spoke with somebody and they did mention that there were that they were. I'll be honest. I didn't get a chance to watch the show, but I saw everything on social media. I spoke to a couple people about it, but apparently there were NDAs that were involved.
Right. So if there's NDAs and contracts and stuff was signed, that means he hold up his end of the bargain. It's just that they stopped getting paid, and that's why everything's coming to the forefront now. Especially Sparkle. Sparkle is still upset that her music career didn't take off. She sold her own cousin out for her music career.
So let's go to the chat real quick. I love Rocky. I see you, Flea Mason. I see you, Sean. I see you, Jesus. What's up, Taylor? What's up? So Jesus says, "What about this? We all say somebody like Ye is moving crazy, but when them hits come on, you gotta respect. R. Kelly and Bill on a whole different level, though." So I think it's interesting that he brings up Kanye, because I was speaking to somebody too about this, and I feel like a lot of people brought up Kanye's canceled. Like, oh, there was even death
Kanye would
threats.
never be canceled.
but you got to look at, remember when he said the whole slavery was a choice, how much black people attacked him, death threats, all of that stuff. But then then this comes out with R. Kelly, and then it's now a debate of, do we continue to listen to his music, or do we let him slide? Do we turn a blind eye?
Yo, personally, the way I see the situation is like, you have to be able to separate art from the music. I mean, the person from the art. Because if you think about it like this, when you create something, it's your intellectual property. You put that shit out into the world. That means it takes on a being in and of itself. You feel me? So somebody could come along and they could see a piece of art that R.Kelly created and they could recreate it. They could use it for inspiration. They could do a cover song or whatever, and they'll create something great and you'll love it. But you'll never be able to recreate R. Kelly. The mental illnesses, whatever's going on in his head, whatever personal experiences he went through, you'll never be able to recreate that shit. So he is separate from what he puts out into the world. And just like with chemical reactions, you don't control that shit. When you mix one chemical with the next, something happens, it get released into the earth. You can't gather the cloud back up and put it back in the bottle. Nah, it took on the shape and form of itself. So it's a new entity. You got to respect that shit. You got to respect it. And at the end of the day, I don't think it might not be popular opinion, but I don't think he deserves to go to jail. I think he deserves to go to a fucking mental asylum or somewhere where they're gonna actually help him, not send him to jail.
The dude literally said he was in love with his mom.
Yeah, not don't send him to jail for 3 years and then set him back on the loose for some more people to fall prey. No, fix his fucking problem. Fix his problem so y'all can stop looking to somebody else for blame.
When you start looking at the community as a whole, as far as like black community, it's like, oh, they don't respect black girls. Oh, if it was a white girl, he would be under the jail. Blah 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 blah. It's not that he doesn't. It's not that we don't respect black girls. It's just that we see the holes in the plot. As black people, it's like if you taking your kids and soliciting your kids to a person for money and for gain, then like that's your problem. If he stops paying you because he no longer wants y'all, it's like, listen, like, you know what you signed up for, and you know what the terms. You know what the terms was. So don't go through this documentary and be like, oh, let's get this quick money off this documentary and throw him under the bus, because like at the end of the day, I feel like later on in the year, I see everybody that was a part of that documentary getting super exposed. And when I mean like super exposed,
well, I mean, he did say that I saw something that came out recently.
Hold on, Dean. The chat is jumping, bro.
I see.
Hold on. This is LJ, my boy T. L Jazz. What's up, Taylor? My boy L Jazz said Steven Tyler made a 14-year-old abort his child.
Yep,
Jesus,
that's
who's
true.
Steven Tyler?
He's a rock star.
Oh my! Oh, and nobody came for.
Smith.
Oh, word.
Yeah, but that's not the only one. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna, I can get into like so many celebrities that has done stuff with underage people, but the thing is, it doesn't matter because it's how the industry works.
Hollywood, right? Look at fucking Weinstein, bro. Matter of fact, back to the chat. Taylor said more artists than R. Kelly are doing this type of nastiness. Everybody needs to be canceled. Facts. Maybe let's just burn it all down and start fresh. Shauna Leezy. Shauna, we see you. What's up? What's up for tuning in? Shauna Leezy said the black community is so divided and selfish that they will never do anything unless there's some kind of benefit for them.
Exactly.
People been knew about this, and now everyone wants to chime in. And Jesus said facts. El Jazz says everybody's favorite artist has some nastiness or bad energy around them from something that happened at some point in their life.
She knows.
Right. Yeah. He ain't really doing nothing illegal. He's just mentally unstable. Outside of the Aaliyah nastiness and the child pornography that he got off on because he paid them off. Damn, now y'all dropping some bombs.
Dropping gems.
Facts. Hold on. Jesus said, simple and straight, this documentary or whatever came out, he was abused as a child, so I understand LAUD's angle. But if that man come out with another fire-ass album, all this is under the bus.
That's facts.
My bad for laughing. Oh my, he gonna give me.
I mean, that's a good point.
If someone give R.Kelly the platform to perform one song, what
will happen
on like a I Believe I Can Fly, like a redemption song, because he's the king of doing redemption songs. Look, I Believe I Can Fly. He saved me. Like the greatest, like he's good at
doing
the greatest.
So like, all it takes for him to write one good redemption song, it'll get swept under the rug. if he got good lawyers. Like,
I mean,
all you
it's
gotta
it's
do
a
is-
good
Yo,
point. It's a
oh
good
my
point that
God,
you make
that
that you
lawyer
bring up
point.
because if we do look back at the first accusations that he had, not even accusations, but y'all know what I mean. The first
Uh,
stuff that happened, everybody got rid of all his albums. They got rid of everything. They said, oh, R. Kelly's canceled, and then like you said, he came back with a redemption song, and then everybody kind of after that they're like, oh yeah, we're back to being R. Kelly fans. I
exactly.
just I just want to go to something too real quick that a lot of us are saying that like the music industry is disgusting and shady, but same thing with separating art from the artist. What about sports figures? Do they have the same leeways that like if a sport figure if he gets caught up in something, um do we give them a pass? Do we give them a slide? Can they continue to play sports? Because is that technically art that they're doing?
I
it
mean,
depend on
that's
what
their
league.
art form, but at the end of the day, you're still responsible for your actions. So, like, if you're on camera doing some wild shit, your ass just ain't gonna be playing. But,
Mm,
but
Yo, facts.
I mean, like I said, whatever goes on behind closed doors, that's between you and whatever goes on behind closed doors.
mm,
But once everything started coming to light, you just gotta face the noise.
mm.
Simple as that.
Yeah, big facts. And I personally, it depend on what league because NFL and NFL niggas is doing all types of problematic shit, and Goodell just be like, hey. Let
Right?
him back on the field. He making me money. What you gonna do? And at the end of the day, this is America, so capitalism beats out everything, right? If
Exactly.
that wasn't the case, we wouldn't be having this issue because R. Kelly would have been getting fucking mental health from he was young. He would have been able to come out and say, "Yeah, I was abused or whatever," and they would have took him serious and really like fixed him, not like wait till now so we could. America's way to fix you is to shame your ass into being
Wow.
doing right. Like,
And
Yeah.
then
and
you
it
gotta
doesn't
look at
work.
black legends in a whole. Every black legend had their legacy ruined by something type of accusation.
Yo,
And
stop it.
and
Yo, don't
it's
you
just
getting too
wild
real
because
for them.
yeah, because if you look at that, it's like why only black legends getting their legacies ruined
Is
over.
Weinstein in jail? Is Weinstein in jail yet? That's all I'm gonna ask.
No, he's not in jail.
Right, but Bill
He's a
Cosby
special
is, right?
agent. He's a
But Bill
special agent.
Cosby's in jail. Bill Cosby's ass is all over the news looking crazy. They making memes. But Weinstein is probably still fucking right now.
Yeah,
Right now, raping
right
somebody
now.
right now. I bet. Cause that don't change. You gotta why a nigga like Weinstein and these niggas. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, hold on, oh man. The chat
Stupid,
that's
nigga.
still going. So Taylor says I'ma feel OD bad for it, but step in the name of love is always gonna slap. Uh,
Oh my. Yo, facts.
I ain't singing it. I'm done. I'm done. That's it. That's all y'all gonna get out of me. He says Big Ben, Kobe, and much more. MJ lied about the flu game. Cancel him too. Shauna says people need to stop making excuses. People have shit that scars them and that should
Right.
not be an excuse for what they do. People need to stop saying stop trying to hurt the black man. Taylor,
You hear the finger snaps in the background?
100%. Taylor
Yo.
says, son got a gambling addiction. Shauna says, this is OJ all over again. Jesus says, Ben Roethlisberger got 3 sexual assault charges
Yup.
and he got touched. Vic went to jail for making dogs fight.
Yup.
Ray Rice damn near banned from the league for suplexes
His
with
girl.
his girl.
Right.
Shai says, yup, because everybody nasty. He just unapologetically manipulates little girls who are vulnerable, but everybody nasty.
My nigga, at the end of the day, people need to start being accountable. That is my biggest issue. Like, don't blame R. Kelly, don't blame this, don't blame the lawyer, don't blame yourself because you let your daughter go there. Blame your daughter because maybe she shouldn't have been listening to no fucking R. Kelly at 12, 13-year-old. So maybe you gotta blame yourself again.
And then, if
like,
you really want to get deep into it, let's talk about the actor Stephen Collins from Seven Heaven, who molested.
Oh yeah,
he just
he's
walked around
good.
freely.
He's good.
Really.
The dad from Seven Heaven was out here getting crazy, and he's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like it, I don't know why it always got to be a black face attached to it, as if niggas don't know the truth. Like we see it happening, bro. Like
Yeah.
That took place 40 years ago.
Word, like
Yeah, and I think
hold on.
that's what everybody's saying. Like, the issue is everybody's kind of allowing it, because Shy says him screwing young women is the problem.
But the,
But older women and the parents need to get serious help. DJ Fame, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Earns, I see you. Thanks for tuning in. Taylor says,
yes.
y'all taking a family trip to R. Kelly concert. Don't sound like a good
job
job
to me. Facts. Like, you got your 9-year-old baby
But I
listening
also
to Bump and Grind.
I think it's also the people on R. Kelly's team have to kind of be put into this, because there's no way he was doing this behind closed doors and
Bro,
nobody was
stop
seeing it.
blaming the team. They
I'm
getting
not.
the check.
I'm saying,
They getting the
I'm
check,
saying
bro.
at the end of it,
He couldn't read a contract. He had to. Just like,
The
of
team,
What I'm
course,
saying-
someone on his
they
team-
wrote it in the contract.
of
they had
course
an
there's someone
NDA.
on his team.
But nah, here's my thing. If we're gonna go after R. Kelly and say, all right, we're not gonna listen to his music anymore, then we shouldn't listen to the label. We shouldn't listen to anybody that's made music with R. Kelly. You gotta cancel everybody, as I believe Charles said earlier.
You can't cancel everybody, because that's when people's gonna start getting mad. Once you be like, oh, he wrote this song, oh, he wrote this song, he wrote this song, and then we start seeing this man credits wrote for everybody, not just he didn't write for like little art. He wrote for big, huge artists. Why do you think like a lot of art like Omarion? Think Omarion really gonna cancel his music, his catalog? That nigga, he's struggling right now for money. That's why he's going on the tour in the first place.
Yeah.
Ain't no way he's getting rid of that catalog that R. Kelly wrote for him.
Shy
No way.
says parents need to speak to their children and let them know their worth starting from young, because we're in a different time where they need that kind of talk.
Facts.
Yeah, and then
Big
also
facts.
gotta realize back in like the 70s and 80s, it was a different time. Like it was people starting out in the industry at 16, at 17 years old,
Facts.
and they done stuff with older men. Like you can look at Celine Dion. She married her manager. He's been in her life since when she was 12 years old.
Oh, that's
So you mean to tell me you looking at this 12-year-old and you married her eventually?
That's different.
Yeah.
Hold on. Taylor said, honestly though, I was confused though how one of the girls that came out said she had a threesome with a 14-year-old but didn't know she was 14 until the girl said, what? Until a girl said it. All of this happened?
Yeah, I heard there was also apparently in the song. So this was one of the things where some people were saying they can't listen to some songs anymore. Apparently, when R. Kelly was performing Ignition in the studio, he had a 14-year-old bent over, and a lot of people are saying now every time they hear that song, they're gonna kind of associate that with it.
That's
even
what
though
they say. But like the thing is, would you dare? Is there any video? He like record everything. So like, did you see in the video? I rest my case.
I don't want to sound like an apologist or like we're downplaying sexual assault or anything like that, because that's
I'm
not the
trying to
case
play
at all.
anything.
Nah, trust me, I'm playing PR right now. Don't worry, bro.
That's why I said pros and cons.
Facts.
Listen, everybody that's tuned in, iTunes, YouTube, wherever you at, we are playing both sides of the table.
Yes. No, me too, nigga. But nah, seriously, all jokes aside, like I don't want to make it seem like we gotta just look to everyone else. At the end of the day, R. Kelly needs help. That is the main point I'm trying to get at. I feel like that's the main point everybody's trying to get at. Some people feel like his help might be a kick in the mouth, and other people feel like it's a therapist. Me personally, I feel like it's a therapist because somebody could steal and you whoop their ass. They just gonna find a way to become more clever at stealing. You feel what I'm saying?
The
So-
only thing I would say with in R. Kelly's situation, because like R. Kelly age group, I would say like you gotta look at your uncles, daddies, and all of them. They are around the same age. So like, are they doing the same thing, looking at little girls like that?
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
you bring
That's
up
our
a good point, because hold on, let's go to the chat because it's still going. Taylor says, honestly though, I was confused though.
After that.
Oh, after that, R. Kelly knew she was 14, but how you as a female not know you down there looking a 14-year-old? Wow.
That was.
Jesus. I didn't even want to finish reading that as the words came out of my mouth. I wanted to like grab him and be like, no. Stop. Jesus says, I'm going to the next one. Jesus says, ladies came out and confessed already. There's things in that documentary that people don't know. Ignition dropped after the sex video with the little girl. Watch what happens. Watch what's dropping next.
Yo, this nigga's a troll.
Ern says this whole shit is fucked. Shaking my head. LOL.
Yeah,
and Taylor,
exactly.
Eldath also says he had a hand in writing. Age ain't nothing but a number. Age ain't nothing but a number.
By Aaliyah.
In which Aaliyah is saying that's nasty. Ern
Yo,
said,
really?
Yeah, but
Nah, this
when,
is
when you
scary.
look at the situation with Aaliyah and R.Kelly, they was married young. She picked her records to get married or whatever. So like when the mom said that she was always around Aaliyah, where the hell were you was when she got married?
hmm.
Where the hell was you us when she died? Because if you was always around Aaliyah, you would have died
Somebody else
too.
said that. Somebody else said that, like you would have been on the plane or some shit like that.
Wow.
And I mean, that's fuck. How you say that to?
I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta keep it. You gotta keep it all the way real.
Yeah.
If you're gonna keep it real, you gotta
Yeah,
keep it real. Like
yeah.
you gotta keep it all the way 100. Like if you say you're around your daughter 100, like 24/7, then how the hell she was able to get married? And then you can go further, like how she was able to like be with Dame Dash or Jay-Z. So it goes either way. It goes deep. That's what I said. The industry in a whole.
Oh shit, Dame Dash and J. Oh.
Yeah, she dated Jay-Z before she dated
Yo,
Dame Dash.
let's not let's I don't even. I feel like we going too
Yeah,
deep down the rabbit hole. Like,
we was just going with art.
uh,
Oh, man.
oh god, this shit is gross.
It is, man. I
The
just want to wrap
manager. Yeah, wrap it up with the comments. And
wrap
then
it up with
let's
the
get
comics. We go on
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
next.
like you know, your favorite rapper, like Jay-Z and Foxy Brown. Like it goes on and on and on and on, bro.
Shit.
Yeah, it's weird, but I mean, it comes down to. I want to wrap it up with this before going to the comments. It also comes down to what your moral values are,
Right.
and I think that goes back to what you guys were preaching, was saying it's about how your parents raised you. It's about who brought you up, because you have different moral values. As we've seen and we heard about R. Kelly, is he was raised a little bit differently than a lot of us.
Right.
So there's going to be some problems there, but there needs to be a line that we can say, all right, this isn't morally okay, or on both sides. I'm not even just saying R. Kelly. I'm saying on the sides of R. Kelly. I'm saying for the parents, for the management, for everybody in the situation, there has to be some sort of moral value. To go to the chat real quick, Taylor says the manager forged her signature for them and got to get married, and said Aaliyah was 18 when she was 15.
Let's not go deeper on
Yeah,
that. Sorry.
that's true.
Aaliyah's mom said they never had sex though.
Whatever,
That's a
bitch.
Great balls of fire
That's a
shit.
lie. If you
Ern
married,
said,
you
Balls of
having
fire
sex.
Ern said, according to Dame later on, Aaliyah knows she got violated. Eljaz says, if you choose to believe that too, Aaliyah had everybody in a frenzy.
Yep, that's
so
true.
we just
Timberland, Genuine, the whole crew.
Genuine? Nah, I don't believe it.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
Pixar didn't happen. Pixar didn't happen.
Genuine was in love with Aaliyah. That's why he got the Aaliyah tattoo on. If you ever looked in the video, dang, what's that song? With shit, I can't think of the song right now. The song she's on the card. The song that she's on the card.
If at first you don't succeed,
No.
try
way
again. Try,
before that.
Not Pony.
Love you, baby. Love you, baby.
Oh
you,
yeah,
baby.
1 in a million.
Yeah,
one in a million. Yeah.
Yeah, he got the tattoo on his arm. Like, why you think Timberland first wife and Genuine first wife, they all look like Aaliyah or similar?
Yo, she had niggas under pressure in it.
Alright, wrapping it up. Jesus says, last thing. A shorty said she topped R. Kelly for a few stacks to support her kids and left with nothing but herpes. Bro,
Yo, this nigga
done.
is
Next.
perfect way to end it. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
So next we're gonna go into GOAT talk. All right, so I saw Red Alert post this the other day, and he was like, "GOAT of hip hop," and he gave a couple descriptions of how you could be the GOAT of hip hop. He says to even be considered. I don't think this is his post. Somebody reposted this, but it says to even be considered to be the GOAT of hip hop, you need 1, be a great performer live. 2, be versatile. 3, have 3 classic albums. 4, brought something to hip hop that did not exist before that others have copied and benefited from. 5, impact and influence. Record sales is another category.
That's true.
Now, who is the GOAT? Before we do that, I want to show
are
you
you
something.
talking GOAT as far as male or female or male?
Hold on,
female?
we gonna get into it. I just wanted to show everybody a picture as to why this is a topic. So recently we got this artist called Blueface that came out,
Oh,
and
Blueface, I heard of him. Yeah.
people have
Pull
been
up on your
labeling
black
him.
like Deem to try.
People have been labeling Blueface as the GOAT, and here we see a clear picture of Blueface, Lil Pump. I don't know who that other dude is.
With
It's Ty Storch.
Grandmaster Extortionist, nigga. Sorry. Wait, fuck. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that on this platform. Sorry.
Oh man, and and another thing that we got is this clip of Sway Lee.
Oh,
I don't know if y'all saw that. If y'all didn't, y'all did.
yo, L
didn't.
Jazz, Blueface is fire.
But people are calling Blueface the GOAT. Now we have.
Okay.
First off, do
but-
you guys agree with these rules for to be considered a GOAT? Do you guys agree with that?
I mean,
I agree with that because you can't be you can't be throwing the GOAT and King and all this around like it's just regular right now because like these new cats is disrespectful. One, like, but if it's like the 80s or 90s, like a lot of people would survive. I'll just say
yo,
that.
that's what I was gonna say. I feel like the list need to be longer, but hey, if we doing the Spark Notes versions, I'm with it too. You feel what I'm saying?
So what would you guys add on that list though?
A lot, my nigga. A lot more albums. Hold on, throw the list back up, cause
I mean, like, if you wanted to be part of like a GOAT, like also like rap battles, like you gotta realize like Busta Rhymes and all of them, they did rap battles when it was coming up together.
Facts.
So it's like these new cats will last a day in a rap battle.
Hell no.
They go to a radio station and be like, oh, you know, I don't freestyle, I don't rock star. Well, nigga, you should be doing rock music instead of rap music.
Right.
Like, what the hell? Like, like that makes no sense.
L Jazz said, in the chat, L Jazz said Blueface is fire. He gonna get the Drake feature and it's over. He's 2019 6'9". Deem, remember? Nigga said they replaced 6'9" with Blueface.
With Blueface. With
I
Blueface.
Yo, Africa, if you're in the chat, you was right,
is it?
bro.
The pump plan, right? The pump plan?
Yeah, the pump plan.
I know
Africa,
Taylor talked about that. Taylor talked about the pump plan.
Oh, okay, L Jazz. If you can't rap battle, you're not a GOAT. And Jesus said, at max, I give him a year. Niggas throwing the GOAT at everybody.
Yeah,
because like you gotta realize, like none of these new artists that's coming out are longevity. None.
You don't think so?
Hell.
Nah, hell no, bro. Maybe one or two, bro. But Anderson .Paak been out, so you can't even really say him.
You can't put him in a rap category. He's hip hop. Like Anderson .Paak, like J. Cole and all of them, like they're like in a different category.
Yeah,
but, like,
I'm not gonna lie though. I would say like a Uzi Vert can get in that category of potentially becoming a GOAT.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nigga,
it's gonna be I would say revamping and a lot of rebranding of his image. Like,
has to. His whole image gotta change.
My whole thing is like, are y'all gonna be the same way throughout your whole career? Like, they're not gonna elevate or evolve at all. It's like y'all just gonna be bumbling for every album. They don't put out 4 albums, the same shit. Look at
I don't know about that because Uzi hasn't dropped an album and he's still having a strong fan base.
Yeah. That's true.
True.
But I'm just looking at how the whole systematic is running. I feel like hip hop got like another 4 years, and then it's gonna jump to something else.
Talk about it.
Yo, please don't do that. Y'all niggas keep with some 4 horsemen shit.
No, because
calling down the death.
It's true. It's true. You can't deny it.
I know, bro, but
like, every genre done had their moment.
Yeah.
And like now it's hip hop moment, and it's so big. It's bigger than country music. You think country music gonna be like, oh yeah, we like being second place? This is in the first time in like 40 years, country music is number 2. You don't think they want to be number 1 again?
Yeah.
Hey, and that brings up the whole thing that I was talking about, where I think the next sound of hip hop is contemporary hip hop. They're gonna bring the guitars in. They're gonna bring that rock sound in. They're gonna bring all that stuff in.
But not even contemporary hip hop, classical rock.
That's what it sounded like right now. You listen to like a Gunna and Lil Baby. Listen to the beginning of Sold Out Dates. That guitar riff is a rock song. Go into the chat real quick. Jesus said, oh wait, hold on. There's more. Jesus says, at max, I give him a year. Niggas throwing the GOAT at everybody. L Jazz says, if you can't rap battle, oh, you said that already. My bad. Playboy is gonna have super longevity, and he's in a younger generation.
He's not gonna have longevity.
No, not Playboy.
No, hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. Because like, if you look at his album that came out last year, it didn't do good number wise. And
Mhm.
then like he's doing his cloud control with Iggy Azalea, so it's like
Mhm.
Oh shit.
he don't know where his next song's gonna be because it just sound like his second album was everywhere compared to his first album. His second album was everywhere, and I can tell like he was listening to other people and doing
It was influencing him.
influencing
Yeah.
what they want.
Shona brings up a really good point. Just before that, Jesus says Uzi really is
Billions.
Bilious. My bad. His sound is crazy, and people don't know him on impact on other people. Taylor says Uzi and Playboy going to be goats of 2015 and beyond. Hip hop is going to be the rock. But Shona says this is a really great point right here. It's hard, but people need to stop comparing. Yeah, I can't say some of these
Right.
guys won't last because the industry is constantly changing. We have no idea what it's going to be in a couple years. Taylor says made in Tokyo, DC to Don Comethazine, Playboy, and Uzi. His album right now is touching the people, bro. For the younger generation, he has strong influence on the new sound.
Who we
But going
talking
back
about? You
to
talking
what
about Cardi?
I think he's talking
Playboy
about
Cardi?
Playboy Cardi, yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's a great point that she brings up that the sound is going to constantly change because if you look at the top of the charts, what was hot, and I did an episode on this earlier on Quality Time, what was hot 10 years ago can't be hot right now.
Oh nah, definitely not, definitely not.
Yo, hold on, bro. Check how much time we got left, because it's 10:10.
We
We
got
out here
we at
running.
we at 36 minutes right
Whew.
now.
Hey, because we still got one left.
So, do you guys what it, being 2019 I was about to say 2018. It's 2019. Who do we see as being some of the potential goats for that next era, that next
You
sound?
know who I'ma say, nigga? Nipsey Hussle, the great, nigga. That's my
Yeah,
number
Nipsey
one pick.
Hussle.
And
Nipsey
now
Hussle.
here's my second part to the question before y'all answer. Why?
Um,
What reasons?
put
I
the
feel like
list back up.
but,
Matter of fact,
Oh,
you go because I could, man, I go on there.
no, I feel
well,
like Nipsey Hussle
mhm,
actually took and waited for his time to actually get his own as an artist. Like he had to learn how to be an artist first. So he actually went through the whole develop package and not just hopped on the scene and was like, I'm gonna do this rapping shit. Like he actually took the time and learned the craft, learned the business, learned both sides of it, and he just took it all and made it to one big package to where like he's just a businessman. He's not just a rapper. He's like a full on businessman that's
Yo,
really learn how to operate and move through the game.
yo, bro. Honestly, I'll never forget one of the oldest videos from him that I saw where niggas was asking him what he would do when he got on, and he was like, he's trying to buy something because it's about equity, and niggas was like, equity? You talking about what the fuck? You on some whole other shit? He like,
Right.
yeah, as a young boy,
sound
you
like a
feel me?
boat that Christopher Columbus came on.
Right. You feel me? Real shit. So like as a young boy, that's where his mind was. And then as he got older, one thing I live by right now as an artist myself is he said it took him 10 years to get on. You feel me? 10
Yep.
years. So until I hit the 10-year mark and I ain't break my way into the game, I can't complain, nigga. I gotta work harder and harder and harder because if it took Nip 10 and you see where he at to the point where the greats like Jay-Z is buying albums from him for $100 each and buy 1,000 of them. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like that's a slow cook. That he took time to build that shit up, and that's
Mm.
exactly what niggas got to do to be considered the great. Being considered the GOAT ain't no supernova shit. It's not no
It takes
firecracker
time.
burnout shit.
Nope.
Yeah, you gotta build that. Like, and enough of these niggas ain't even been in the game long enough for niggas to be throwing around the GOAT topic. But then again, I feel like to the younger generation, titles don't matter. Period, nigga. Look
At
at
all.
relationships. Look
But
at their personal relationships. They
is
don't.
there a time limit?
Girlfriend, boyfriend don't
Is there
matter.
a time limit that you have to be in the game for a certain amount of time to be considered a GOAT? And
I-
I'm gonna use the example. You know who I'm gonna bring up.
Who?
I could say that
6ix9ine?
that
Oh.
XXX Tentacion could have been considered a GOAT.
Hell
Like
no.
you
Not
think
so
of
soon,
Hell
bro.
no.
of
Hell
all of these
fucking
of
no.
all of these kids that are out right now, he was one of the best ones that
Of
was out.
out of all of the younger generation,
Yeah.
it's between him and 6ix9ine. And 6ix9ine only
6ix9ine
would
is
be able
done.
to get there because 50 Cent laid the blueprint for
He
him.
put a cosign.
Yeah, and but then again, 50 Cent got on top the same way 6ix9ine did by being
Yep.
a dick, by coming at the industry. So
Yeah.
if people considered 50 a GOAT, then 6ix9ine definitely could reach that level over time. But as far as XX, I feel like far and beyond. For the younger generation, he would have been the one just because the influence that nigga. I feel like that nigga could have been like on some Tupac shit. Like he could have a whole coast of niggas beefing with another coast. You feel me?
That's
Like
true.
I mean, even I'm gonna bring back the list because you said you wanted to go through the list, and I'll go through it. I'll go through it. So let's talk about the first thing: be a great performer live. If you've seen any of X's shows live, you see this guy's hanging off of warehouses.
6ix9ine
6ix9ine
live performances is nuts.
100%. Number two, be versatile. If you listen to Question Mark album, every single song on there was something completely different. Everything from rapping to every style of hip hop was on there.
Yeah,
now
6ix9ine got and I don't even know the name of that song, nigga.
Oh, that song is
That's all he
fire
got.
though.
The Spanish joint. Yeah, that's all he got. That's versatile.
We want to go to three. Have three classic albums. Unfortunately, we will not know because his got shut down. But as 17 classic album. It was a really great album. You want to go to Question Mark? Another great album. Skins, I'll be honest, wasn't that good at all.
It was not good at all.
It wasn't. But we will never know. We can't know what will happen next. So right now he's missing one. So brought something to hip hop that did not exist before that others have not copied or benefited from.
I got one right now, my nigga. Childish Gambino. What's up?
Ooh.
What's up? I don't know how many albums he got, but that music is great.
He has 5 albums. The thing.
How many of them do people consider classic though?
Only 2.
Oh, so he's honestly
because of the internet, Cowie and this one right here.
Yeah, that's why I said
Awaken My Love, yeah,
bro.
Awaken My Love.
Because let's keep it a buck. He's a great performer. He's versatile as fuck. To the point that he's a movie star or an actor.
He has people calling him by 2 different names.
Right. That says it. That's
it right there. Like,
and he brought something that you cannot say he didn't bring something to hip hop that didn't exist before. You feel me? That man got his own style and his impact and influence. My nigga, he was able to become a TV star. Like
the people that I see that's gonna be like huge, like in the future. Like I see Sway Lee being big. Once he really separate from his brother. I see.
Damn, hold on. You don't think what's his name, Jimmy could catch up?
No.
Damn.
Right. Yeah, hold on, because we're missing some stuff from the chat. Shai says the younger generation are getting higher and dumber, so therefore the music will get dumber as well because music caters to the younger crowd. Good point. The young kids have time to support and listen. Jesus says Tory Lanez R&B and rapping is too crazy. Chris Brown would end the R&B GOAT. R&B GOAT.
Facts.
Taylor says young people rule hip hop at this point. Shona says, and can those requirements still be used in a couple years to crown someone a GOAT to the top, to the up and coming generations?
That's hard to answer.
Good point.
That's hard to answer.
Taylor says, honestly, I think all it is that the term GOAT doesn't have as much weight as it used to. Pretty much all it is to me at this point. Jesus, had he been still alive, then he had a chance because his artistry was really impactful. He's talking about X. Taylor says, I like Skins. His old mixtapes are heat. Camp is a classic. Oh, I love that album. Sway Lee, Smoke, Slim Jimmy.
Yeah. Damn,
so, Carlos, you were saying something before though. What you got?
No, I was saying like just like as far as like going into the future and like the artists that's gonna take over like the Jay-Z's where they hit 40. Like when I say longevity, how can we see any artists at age 40 still dropping albums? That's what I mean by longevity.
Yeah.
And like my thing is, I can see Sway Lee at 40 dropping the album.
Facts.
I can see J. Cole dropping that album at 40.
Facts.
I can see Big Sean. I can see YG. I can see Nipsey Hussle.
Bigger facts.
So like my thing is like when you bring that compared to like 6ix9ine and Playboy Carti and whoever else, like I don't see them dropping albums at 40. Actually, some of these new artists, I don't even see them making the 40.
Damn.
Wow.
Shit,
I mean, all right, but I think that goes to listening to an artist and see if they can. In my opinion, a great artist is an artist that can change their sound through every album that comes out. Jay-Z successfully does it. Kanye is the in my opinion, the master at it. He's the master of every album sound.
Hate him, you have to listen to his music.
Hold on. I'm sorry for cutting you out. Taylor, I fuck with you. You my homie. I love your content. But my nigga, do you see who's behind me, bro? Do you see who's you? Come on, nigga said Drake gonna be the next Nas. Oh my God! Do you see who's behind me, bro?
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about the Drake situation? You know Drake and Nicki Minaj is beefing right now, so like if they end up doing diss tracks, Nicki will definitely kill Drake in a diss record. Definitely, hands down.
Damn, son.
I didn't say that. What's up with the feature, bro? I don't agree.
Damn, son.
Yo. Nah, he said Meek Mill gonna be the next Jay-Z. That's possible.
That's possible if he's able to sustain his popularity. Remember, everyone has a love-hate relationship when it comes to Meek Mill. One minute they love him, one minute they hate him. So
that sounds like 6ix9ine. That sounds like 6ix9ine.
Facts.
Yeah.
We all know when 6ix9ine come out, he is breaking Instagram. Like Instagram is shutting down.
First of all, I don't think he's gonna get out. If he get out, I feel like he's gonna have security 24/7. It's gonna be people at the. He gonna die.
Damn.
Damn. I mean, we at Quality Time do not agree with you. These are the express written thoughts.
No. But I ain't wishing death on nobody. But it's just like
he got a lot of people chasing him. There's a lot. He has a lot on his plate. Yeah. And it's kind of crazy because as he was in jail, stuff started coming out where they said he's not even really about that life.
Yeah.
Did anybody believe he was?
But I mean, just if you look about the music and the character of what he is, like we all want to know what that first sentence he's gonna say once he gets on Instagram the day he gets out. Yeah. Whether it's bail or whether it's 2, 3, 5, 10 years later, we all want to know what is he going to say on Instagram.
No comment.
Instagram. I could see him just getting on the camera and just looking and being quiet.
That ass.
And it's gonna get a billion views.
Like
it's gonna be a billion.
Stop me. I told y'all nobody could stop. It's Treyway. Nah. Ain't no more Treyway. What he gonna yell out now?
Yeah.
I don't know, but as far as his music, it's very versatile. Like we can't deny it.
6ix9ine?
Like
6ix9ine.
6ix9ine music is versatile.
Yeah, I would say
very versatile. It's very different. Like the album that he dropped is very.
I gotta
Dummy
listen.
Boy.
I gotta listen. My bad. I gotta listen. The ones I've heard is usually the.
Yeah, but
his
album's
not bad. His album's pretty good. I give it like a 6 out of 10. You know.
Oh wow. Oh wow. I'd give it around like a 7. So it's good gym music, but like
okay.
I think like when I say versatile, he's making Spanish songs. He's playing around with BPMs. He's playing around with different sounds. I wouldn't say it's versatile like the way how X was versatile on the Question Mark album. Which is why I said that I could see when it comes to any of those categories, which the last one was impact. I wanted to get on that. If you want to talk about impact as far as these kids that are out, this new generation, you gotta admit that X had the biggest impact out of all of them. All of them.
Hold on. Before we do that, let's go to the chat real quick. Oh my God, you do it, bro. But the last one I see, Shauna says 6ix9ine isn't versatile. He's catchy.
That's so true, yeah. Very catchy.
Where we at? Drake gonna be the next Nas. Turn him up because his angles are mean. Some of them don't want to make it to 40. Taylor says. Jesus says disagree with the Nas, agree with the Meek Mills. Taylor says some of them just found music. The ones that make it to Jay-Z are the ones that grew up wanting to be a musician. That's a good point. It's a good point right there. Jesus says, but I understand it because of I'm not a writer, I'm a biter. Shona says 6ix9ine is not versatile. He's catchy. He makes Spanish songs because he is Spanish.
Yo, you know who I see last year a long time, and I just got into their music. Juice WRLD.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Juice WRLD is alright. Juice WRLD is nice as fuck. Matter of fact, he can freestyle too.
When I was at the VMA Awards and I saw him perform live, he didn't have a lot of auto-tunes backing him, and it was like a real intimate setting. I was like, if he get with the right people, he can really go far and like transcend his sound because he literally started from scratch.
Yeah.
He created in his bedroom, so like I can see him going really far because he's like really dedicated to the craft versus like I'm just doing this music shit for fun.
Respect.
Good point. All right, so let's move on to the next topic because we are running out of time a little bit. So the next one we have Chris Brown put out this picture up on Instagram where it says Chris Brown becomes one of the youngest artists ever to own any of his master recordings as part of his. Wow, I cannot speak. I think I'm just thirsty, guys. I think I just need some more.
Chris Brown becomes one of the youngest artists ever to own any of his master recordings as part of a new deal with RCA
RCA.
Records.
Yes, and then we also had 21 Savage who came out and put this up and says, "I own 100% of my
Nigga
masters."
trolling. That was perfect trolling. Right
Perfect. Because like my thing, all right, when it comes to artists owning their masters, because like Taylor Swift don't own her fucking masters.
Right.
So it's like when it comes to owning your masters, what deal did they sign to get that deal? Because you have to give up something to get
Your firstborn
100%.
child.
Facts. And a pint of blood, nigga. Like,
But yeah, you gotta give up something to get the rights to your masters, because a label's not just gonna. They're like, oh yeah, you want your masters? Here's your masters from the beginning of the time. Like they losing out on money, so it's like, what are you guaranteeing? Are like we don't know the stipulations with the contract. Are he owning the masters from this album forward, or did he get his masters from before and now? So we don't know. All
big
it says is
facts.
this. All it says is that he own all his masters. So he could be owning his masters from here on out, but the masters from his before albums, he can't get them back unless he bought them back.
I was wondering that, like, how do they get back pay or retro pay or something
No,
when they
it's
get
no
their master?
retro pay, it's no back pay. If you get your catalog, you just own that catalog now.
That's just
Yeah.
it. Like, so
That's it.
now any money moving forward, you get that.
Yeah, but you gotta realize some labels use artist masters as values for their company. Like Taylor
shit.
Swift, when she was signed to Big Machine Records, she was the face of that company. He started that company off of her brand. So like when she went to Universal, her masters was valued at $300 million.
Sheesh.
Damn.
So the deal that she made with Universal is like, I will sign this deal with y'all, but y'all have to get my masters back for me after I do this deal and done with this deal. And that's why she signed with Universal, because Universal has the money to buy her masters back, because he's selling the label. She left the label, and now he's selling the label because he has no one to hold the label no more.
See, I need to talk to this man more often because clearly he knows his stuff about this label and management shit. Like, it's crazy. Nah, they really will get you out here, but that's what's up. I'm all for people owning their masters. I think. Sorry to bring him up again. Yo, he needs to. Yo, what's up? I need an all money in chain, bro. But Nip Hustle the Great, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. He's one. That's what. All the reasons we bringing up are reasons why he's one of my idols. You feel me? Because he owns his masters. Because he took the time to do it himself, not to sell out and build up his leverage to the point where he could partner with niggas. Like, niggas need to get out of the idea of signing to somebody. That's that slavery shit. Like,
I mean,
somebody
you
owns
still
me.
can sign
Yeah, what are your takes on that?
I mean, you still can sign to people, but my thing is like, what deals are you signing? Like, you don't have to sign a 360 deal. You can do a single deal.
Right.
You can do a sideline deal where it's like you're doing a 2-album deal, but like, let's say all the features that you do, that's your money. So it's like they can't tell you who you can't feature with and make features with, because that's the money that you're making outside of the label. So it's so many loopholes when it comes to signing label deals. It's like it really comes down to how well can you read through the clauses. That's where it really get a lot of people messed up. It's like a lot of people don't read the clauses. It's not what's on the contract; it's what's in the clauses. It's like you can say that you own your masters and everything, but it could be a clause in there that says that you can't use your name and your likeness for 20 years, but you own your masters.
Yo, what? See, so what's up, bro? You got openings? Like, I need some protection. Because niggas doing people dirty like that.
That. That's what happened to TLC. TLC had to buy their name back. $3 million per letter.
What?
Damn.
That is this industry.
In order to make money off the TLC name, they had to pay LA Reid $3 million per name, per letter of the name.
And that's us doing that to us. Like that's
us doing that to us. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. Ah, man.
And look at Prince. Prince, he didn't own his name. The label Warner Music Group.
Oh yeah, what
he had to change the love sign.
Yeah, facts.
And then he won all his music back from Warner Music Brothers, and then he just died.
And then he just died.
Quote unquote.
When people
So
when celebrities start owning their catalogs, it gets tricky because the label's no longer profiting off you. So that's why, like, when Michael Jackson owned the Beatles catalog and all the upcoming older black artists and was giving back their catalogs with their masters, it's like that's deadly because it's like you playing with fire at that point.
Right, and you gotta get snuffed out. Or, a Bill Cosby trying to buy what? CNBC
NBC.
or NBC, right? Yeah. But
That's a
let's
story
not
for another day.
let's stop before the FD something, the F something, the Fed something come for us. I'm good. Let's go to the chat. Shauna said he's the male Cardi. I'm guessing that was about 6'9". And
yeah.
Jesus said facts on the Juice WRLD line. Breezy gonna be the GOAT. Shaija said good point. Lamar, you're a great reader and read with understanding. You'll be okay. Wow. Laughing my ass off. Yo, good shit, y'all. Thank you.
Word. And we almost get into that time. So Charles, you got any closing topics on the masters and management? One thing I was gonna ask you though is like, who do you think should who should really be involved with learning about that stuff? A lot of times we hear a lot of these stories about the artists not knowing what deals they sign, and you brought
I
up some
mean,
great points with TLC and Prince.
when it comes down to like management and stuff like that, I feel like everyone should know a little about the business and what they're signing or like even what they're getting into because like you don't never want to go into a situation where you're just blind and you just don't know. It's like, oh, here's a check and here's a contract to sign your life away. So it's like you should always do some type of research. Like just don't be going to a label just because this label's hopping right now. Is this label a right fit for you? Is this label going to take care of you? Is this label going to treat you like part of the family, or this label just using you for money? Those are the things that you need to look into when it comes to like looking for to be signed by a label. As far as like management and stuff like that, you really don't need a manager unless you like popping because you can do everything on your own. And it's best to get everything on your own until everything gets so big where you need to bring in extra help. But don't be hiring your best friend or baby mama cousin that don't know nothing and then just over here being swindled by the higher ups and they're like, yo, take this deal, give him the sign his paper. That's it.
Yeah.
What? Yeah,
they
so that's
concerned about their pocket.
Yeah, people do that too. People do it.
Look at Cardi's ex-manager. I forgot his name. Like some shiesty nigga or some shit. Like stole her bread and then sued her to get more for her to get out of the deal.
Yeah, because his name's on the credits.
That shit is. That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. Like I met her manager before him, and even for him to get her under him, he did some shady shit with her manager before him. Her name is Ashley, Ash Cash.
Yeah,
Ash Cash, legit. Like she was her manager, and then the dude came in, like got in Cardi ear, told her some shit, and like went behind her back and stole her way. And she kept it a buck and was like, "Yo, honestly, I'm never gonna stand in front of your Sean. If you feel like he could get you further, do your thing." So
exactly.
you feel me? But still, the way he went about it though was like some snake shit, and I'm like,
yeah, you gotta realize like Cardi B got like 4 managers, and like they all tell her to do something,
and they
so
all
like,
getting PC.
Hey man, like we said earlier, man, it's part of the music industry though, man. It's gonna be some shady stuff. But
if you're an artist, pick up a book or something, read a paragraph that says something about the industry. Because like a lot of artists, especially a lot of young artists,
this is all you need to get. I got the book right here. Actually, that's crazy. This book right here.
What's her name?
Yeah.
All you need to know about the music business.
Hilarious.
Just
perfect.
This book.
Perfect
It's
book.
a really short read. Just read that book. But to wrap it up, because Instagram is about to cut us off. Charles, let them know where they could find you at. Where they could get reach out to you.
Charlie_Republic. That's like all across all platforms. Mainly Instagram, and yeah, that's my handle.
Dope, man. Once again, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. It was a great episode.
Nah, thanks for having me. Like, yo, invite me back. We can talk some more.
Absolutely. We got a lot more to talk about. You're always welcome to the Quality Time family, man. And everybody that's tuned in, we appreciate each and every single one of y'all. Every Monday, 9 p.m., tune in. We're going to have something for somebody, Quality Time Rewards.
Get your cash apps ready.
Yes, we will be hitting y'all up. But before Instagram cuts us out, it's DJ Deem. I'm out of here.
It's your boy LAUD at LDOTT on IG. You know what it is. Signing off.
And I'm Charlie Republic. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. Peace.
Peace.
Later.